Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Orion. Its ongoing mission, to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Now this is episode 2 of Jack of Diamonds, and what we are doing is we are actually continuing on our way towards Sagittarius A. But first we are actually moving off to a side position, where we are actually going to go and have a look at a slightly different system. And just look at this. This is pretty much typical of what I've been getting at least 70 to 80% of the time when I'm coming through systems. Just an M-class star and a bunch of dead planets. So let's actually have a look at the galaxy map and see exactly where I am. As you can see, my next jump is actually going to be this system here. And it is another red dwarf, so I'm not expecting all that much. But in the grand scheme of things, I am actually here in the galaxy map. You can see that I've actually crossed the first and the second big void between the two legs. And let's see how far away I actually am from my starting position at Wolf 906. There we go. I am just under 11,000 light years away from Wolf 906. This is where I started, and this is where my Anaconda is parked. Now, I have been going for a number of days now, at least, well, as I sit recording this now, I've been going for a couple of weeks, but this is actually slightly older footage for me. And, like you see where I've come from, but this is where I am actually going. Here we are. This is where I am actually going to stop off as my first waypoint before I actually turn in towards the centre of the galaxy. Now, as you can see, I've actually travelled off at roughly a 40-degree angle off from the centre of the galaxy. And as soon as I hit this system, I am actually then going to go and turn in towards Sagittarius A. And there are actually a few nebulae on the way. There's at least 2 that I can get to without going too far out of my way. So after I hit my first waypoint, my second waypoint's pretty much going to be in this nebula here, and this one as well. So that's where I'm going to be going, and possibly to this one as well, but I think this one's actually fairly high up. I'm not quite sure. So I'm actually going to go have a look at 3 of these different nebulae, and maybe that one as well. I'm not sure, because that one is fairly high up over the galactic plane, so I'm not too worried about that one as yet. Now here we are yet again at another M-class star, and having a look through here, there's really only, at the moment at least, there's only this planet that actually seems worth having a look at. I know this one's going to be a high metal content. We've got a rocky ring and another rocky ring, so I am not really kind of hopeful for all the rings the rest of this system. Now this one is the only one that looks like it might be useful, and this one as well actually, sorry. So only those 2 look like they might be interesting, although they could very well be metal rich, high metal content, or even icy. It's kind of a 3-way toss-up between all those. So what I'm going to have to go and do is have a look around and see what they actually are. But judging by the asteroid belts, I'm not expecting much. So, whilst I am refueling now, I'm actually going to go get into the star and actually into the Corona. And whilst I'm refueling, I will actually scan the next one. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So what is this one? Now this one I am expecting to be a high metal content. Now it's too close to the star, so I'm really not expecting this to actually be a terraformable world. No, it isn't. But let's have a closer look at that planet, because this looks really nice. It's a very, very nice shade of orange. I really do like the look of some of these planets. You can actually see the atmosphere and the storms on there. You can see almost the effect of the atmosphere around the outside. But again, we're going to go have a look at some of the planets a little further out. But these ones I am not expecting too much from. I imagine they're most likely going to be icy rings, but I'm always hopeful for metal rich or something along those lines. But no, I was right, and they are icy. So that's not really all that interesting. So it doesn't bode well for the rest of them. So I am just going to go and jump to the next system. Now, several jumps later, we've actually come across an F-class star. So it's a yellow-white star. And we've come across some interesting looking planets here. Now, this is something I do really like the look of. Now, most likely this planet here, and a lot of these are actually going to be metal rich, though not exactly metal rich, but high metal content, and a lot of them have atmospheres. So I am really hopeful for some of these actually being terraformable. Now, I'm not going to bother going to scan the two closest to there because they are just going to be high metal content planets, and I'm not interested in high metal content planets at the moment. I really want just the interesting planets right now because I am on a schedule right now. So the first one of these is actually, let's have a look. Yep, high metal content, but it is not a candidate for terraforming, unfortunately. But let's scan the next one as well. Now, like I said, the rest of these planets here do look very interesting, and it's usually when I see systems like this that I will stop and scan most, if not all, the planets in the system. Now let's have a look at this one as well. Let's have a closer look, shall we? Now again, it just goes to show the absolute variety of the different types of planets, because both of these are pretty much identical planets. They're both high metal content with atmospheres with the same amount of metal in them, yet they look so different. Now this is the next one we're going to go have a look at, and this one I imagine is actually going to be another high metal content, but it's getting further away from the star, so it is getting closer to being in the Goldilocks zone. Now, I apologise for some of these cuts being a little short, but unfortunately it's the way I recorded these beforehand. And yes, as you can see, this one is actually terraformable. So that is absolutely awesome. And let's have a look at the next few, because some of these are actually going to be really interesting. But first of all, let's have a look at this one here, because this looks great. Yep, I know, fairly quick look, but let's have a look at the rest of the system now. As I said, this system does look fairly interesting, and I am hoping to find some more terraformable worlds here. I'm hoping that it's not just the one. And as you can see, terraformable worlds do come in many shapes and sizes. I mean, let's have a look here. Yep, we have another terraformable world, and this is another high metal content, 32.5 metal, atmosphere 100% nitrogen. So that's going to be kind of interesting to try and actually terraform that one. But we have a bunch of other planets to go and scan, and we just scanned yet another one here. And let's have a look at the map and let's see what these ones actually are. So we'll click that one to scan, and look at that, another terraformable world, and another one. So far we have found 3 terraformable worlds in this system, and I've got high hopes for this one because this one looks interesting as well. But as you can see, all these are somewhat different, yet they all are, well, They are all completely terraformable. And here we go. Here is the last one. And it's another high metal content planet, so that I'm not really surprised with. But no, this one is not terraformable, so we just have to settle with 4 terraformable worlds. Oh, it's 4, sorry, not 3. I completely miscounted. So we have 4 different terraformable worlds, and just look at this last one here. It is just really amazing, the level of detail that really goes into the graphics of these planets. Again, you can see the atmospheric scattering, you can see everything on the planet. But yeah, it's yet again, it's another high metal content with nitrogen atmosphere, but I think that's one of the things that these have all got in common. Well, most of them anyway, because that one's got sulfur dioxide, another one had carbon dioxide. But it's nice to have all these being terraformable, well, all 4 of them at least anyway. And what's this last one? The last one is another high metal content, and it's methane rich. So that's going to be not very pleasant to live on, I imagine. But just look at that. It's got a very, very big pole there. But it looks like it has some form of liquid on this surface as well. Whether that's liquid or something else, I do not know. But we're into another system, and the first couple of planets don't look all that interesting, but what do we have here? Now this could be one of many things. This could be a water world, so could this one. There could be water worlds, they could be high metal content worlds. Or they could even be Earth-like worlds. There is many things that they actually could be. So we're going to go have a look, but we're going to go have a look at the rest of the systems as well. Now I'm hoping anything from here, the orange planet, to the one after the Earth-like is possibly going to be terraformable. So yeah, from here to the one after the ones that look like they could be Earth-like. So let's have a look and see what we find. Well, high metal content, that is this one here, but that is no big surprise at all. 33% metal, carbon dioxide and sulfur atmosphere, not a surprise. Let's have a look at the next one. Another high metal content. So, which one is that one? That is this one. Now that one, that could have been pretty much anything really. But again, it's only a quarter of the size of our Earth. So it's not exactly a very big planet. And now let's have a look at the first of the 2 of these blue worlds and see what they actually are. Taking all your bets, what do you think they are? Well, we'll see in a second. It's an Earth-like world. And that is amazing. This is the second Earth-like world I have found on my trip out. It's suitable for water-based life. It's a third of the size of our Earth. So that's not bad at all. And what's this one? What are we looking at now? Another heavy metal content, high metal content world. And that is this one here. And that's another methane-rich atmosphere, so that might not be all that all that pleasant to live on if it was at all actually habitable, but it's not. And that one there is actually a water world. So here I leave you with some views of Planet Bill and the water world. Now I think it's time to end this transmission. The void is calling and I cannot resist her for long. So until next time, Commanders, keep flying and stay shiny.